Hello everybody and welcome to the Scouting Report. I'm Dan Hayek here with Matt Doyle, and today we're previewing a Canadian clash between the Montreal Impact and Toronto FC. Matt, so far from the Montreal Impact, we've seen a very efficient attack. They score a goal every 6 chances. Is that just a fluky early season stat, or is it telling of the chances they're generating?
I think anytime you're only 2 games into it, you have to be aware of the high lord of sample size. So it can be fluky, but at the same time, this is sort of by design. The Impact know that they're not going to beat a lot of teams early season anyway with possession. They're not the type of team right now that can ping the ball around and then build a chance from nothing. They have to hit you on the counter. They hit you on set pieces. They know they're going to get better looks in those situations, and they have the guys who really understand how to run a counterattack. Patrice Bernier, obviously, very much at home. Those speedy wingers they bust down the flanks. Very at home on the counterattack. So it's really just Marco Schallenbaum realizing the skill set of his players and playing to their strengths. So I think it's more by design. Obviously that number will taper off. It won't be 1 every 6 through 34 games, but they are a more efficient team this year, and that's why they have 6 points from 2 outings.
Similarly, so far this season, Toronto has been an opportunistic team. We saw that in their 2-1 win against Kansas City, but we haven't really seen them generate that much. Do they have enough going forward to pick apart this solid Montreal backline? Again,
I don't think it's going to be out of possession, especially with Luis Silva out or perhaps running at only half strength. They don't really have that sort of creative genius who sees the last pass. What they do have, John Bostock can beat just about anybody 1 versus 1. We saw that against Sporting KC. So if he skins a fullback and the central defense has to pull out to meet him, that's going to leave gaps for Robert Earnshaw to shoot through. And if the pass is there, that's how Toronto will score. It is going to be opportunistic. It is going to be isolation, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think Reds fans would happily take it in this game.
Both of these teams like to sit deep. Neither of these teams really has shown a lot of impetus to attack so far. But it's going to be a full house, and there's going to be 4,500 people traveling from Toronto to root on those Reds. So do you think that one of these teams in particular, or both of these teams, are going to be spurred on by the crowd to really get after it?
Well, I think that if one of them is going to sort of take the bit in their teeth, it's probably going to be Montreal. The fans up there do like a show. They were at times unhappy last season with the team playing a little more defensively, a little less possession-based. This year, again, I think they're just thrilled with the 6 points from 2 games, so they're not going to ask them to be Barcelona out there, but they're going to want them to come a little bit higher up the pitch. And when you have Alessandro Nesta and other veterans on the back line, there's no reason you can't. You can stay organized in spite of being a little bit long in the tooth. So I expect Montreal will. Toronto, I expect it to be another defensive game for them, but it will be a little bit more up and down the field than we saw from the Reds against Sporting KC.
Well, do you think it'll be defensive, or do you think there are goals in this one? Let us know in the comments below. This one kicks off at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's on Saturday. You can watch it on RDS or TSN.